Namaste to everyone. I am Dr. Reena here to give you information about vulvovaginitis during pregnancy. So, pregnancy is a beautiful phase in women's life, and desire to have a healthy pregnancy is innate and very intense in every living being. Pregnancy, therefore, is the start of an incredible journey that leads to great emotional fulfillment to women. A series of changes happen in the physiological, anatomical, and immunological status of women that can predispose to infection. One of the important changes during pregnancy is change in vaginal anatomy and physiology. The normal pH of vagina in non-pregnant state is acidic due to presence of Dorderlan's bacilli. It prevents growth of many microorganisms and thus prevents infection in vaginal canal. But this natural defense mechanism is somewhat compromised during pregnancy. As a result, many organisms may infect vagina during this period. The white discharge per vaginum is commonly seen complaint during pregnancy. So now it will come on to the disease. So we can say it as excessive increased vaginal discharge during pregnancy. Pregnant women commonly develop increased vaginal discharge, which in many instances is not pathological. There is increased vaginal transudate during pregnancy due to hyperestrogenism and increased vascularity. Characteristics of vaginal discharge during pregnancy are copious, thin, and curdy white due to marked exfoliated cells and bacteria, and odorless or sometimes mild smelling because of increased estrogen production. Microscopic examination reveals preponderance of cornified squamous cells with few pus cells. Except for personal hygiene, no treatment is required. Symptoms of vulvovaginitis during pregnancy come in manifestations when infection supervenes. Line of demarcation is often impossible between leukorrhea and infective vaginal discharge, since the both may exist together or one may develop into other. In some women, infection is likely to reoccur and require repeated treatment during pregnancy. In these cases, symptomatic infections usually subsides after pregnancy. The normal vaginal discharge during pregnancy is mucoid in nature and non-irritating, but when it is associated with some infections, it may emerge with following associated features. And the features may like excessive discharge of different color and consistency, like thin, curdy, cheesy, frothy, white, yellowish, greenish, with or without smell. It may be irritating and itching of varying degree. Dyspareunia, urinary symptoms like dysuria and frequency of micturition, burning sensation on vulva and vagina. Now, what might be the causes of vulvovaginitis? So, there are many causes of vulvovaginitis, but the most common infections are bacterial vaginosis, vulvovaginal candidiasis, non-specific vaginitis, and trichomonas vaginal infection. All these infections are encouraged by change in normal acidity or the hormonal imbalance in the vagina. Abnormal increased vaginal discharge can also occur due to following causes like cervical erosion, chlamydial infection, gonorrhea, and other STDs like sexually transmitted disease. So, vulvovaginitis. So, if we'll talk about the vulvitis, the vulva is usually resistant to common infection, but the defense is lost following constant irritation by the vaginal discharge or urine. So, it can occur due to specific infection also, and due to sensitive reaction, or due to vaginal discharge or urinary contamination. So vulvovaginitis due to various organisms during pregnancy, like first is bacterial vaginosis. Bacterial vaginosis is not an infection, but it is maldistribution of the normal vaginal flora. Number of lactobacilli are decreased and overrepresented species are anaerobic bacteria. That includes Gardnerella vaginalis, Mobiluncus and some bacterioid species. And vitamin D deficiency has been identified as a risk factor for vaginosis in pregnancy. So in bacterial vaginosis, clinical features, it might be grayish white, malodorous vaginal discharge adherent to vaginal wall. And second is trichomoniasis. In trichomoniasis, it can be identified during prenatal examination in up to 20% of the women. Symptomatic vaginitis is much less prevalent. Clinical feature, it might be profuse and offensive vaginal discharge, irritation and itching of varying degree within and around the introitus, and urinary symptoms like such as dysuria and frequency of micturition. And there may be history of previous similar attacks also. So if we'll come on to candidiasis, Candidiasis albicans or other Candida species can be identified by culture from vagina during pregnancy in approximately 25% of the women. Asymptomatic colonization requires no treatment. And clinical feature, it may cause dyspareunia due to local soreness. So now if we'll come on to the complications of vulvovaginitis during pregnancy are, first you may take it as chorioamnionitis, that is the infection of amnion and chorion, pre-rupture of the membrane, PROM, and it may happen because of the inflammatory response due to infection lead to membrane weakening and ultimately PROM. And next, spontaneous abortion. Next is preterm labor. And for preterm labor, hypothesis shows that intrauterine infections trigger preterm labor by activation of the innate immune system. So if you will come on to the management, so first conservative management. So conservative management, for that vulvar hygiene, proper wiping will reduce rectal flora in the vulvovaginal area. Sitz baths are very helpful in relieving symptoms. Avoid scrubbing of the vulval area to keep the local area dry, and to wear cotton undergarments. And basically treatment of the vulvovaginitis is mainly based on the causative factors. Like for candidiasis, for medication you can give orally azole preparations. Like topical treatment if you wanna give, so in that azole cream like butoconazole, clotrimazole, miconazole, turconazole are available. This you can give to the patient for application of 7 days. If bacterial infection, so in that case orally you can give metronidazole 500 mg BD for 7 days, 250 mg TID for 7 days, and clindamycin 300 BD for 7 days. And if it is trichomoniasis infection, then orally you can give metronidazole single 2 gram doses. And if non-specific vaginitis, then in that you can give clindamycin. Metronidazole after first trimester in pregnancy you may give. So this is from my side. Thank you.